welcome to the channel. Imagine waking up one morning, checking an old forgotten drawer, and finding a tiny brown coin so ordinary that most people would not glance twice at it. Yet this exact 1960 D-Mint Mark 1 cent USA coin has shattered expectations and rewritten the record books by holding a face value of just 1 cent but a staggering worth of $35 millions. A number so shocking that it leaves collectors, investors, historians, and everyday dreamers stunned and speechless because this coin is not just currency, it is a time capsule of America's evolution, a survivor of an era when copper spoke wealth, craftsmanship had soul, and every mint mark told a story, and the Denver Mint in 1960 unknowingly created a piece of historical treasure that would become the greatest small piece of metal ever to cross an auction stage without needing gold, diamonds, or royal influence. And this sparks the question floating in the minds of millions today: how does something so tiny, so overlooked, so common, become the most expensive 1 cent coin nearly ever seen in circulation? And why do collectors hunt day and night through old jars, dusty basements, attic boxes, estate sales, flea markets, abandoned storage units, and forgotten safes in hopes of locating that life-changing piece of metal? Because the fascination isn't just about the monetary shock value, but the mystery, the detective work. The thrill of thinking that someone out there may have tossed $35 millions into a charity jar or slid it across a bakery counter without knowing the future fortunes slipping away finger by finger. And that chills the spine of history lovers and coin hunters, because the 1960 D-penny isn't merely rare, it is a ghost that still hides in plain sight, a legend passed through hands silently for decades, a ticking time capsule that could be inside a grandfather's cigar box, taped behind old picture frames, buried in a rusted toolbox inside a shed, or lost between couch cushions. Collecting dust, waiting for that one lucky human destined to break headlines and become the next overnight millionaire simply because they paid attention when others didn't. And stories circulate of people discovering unimaginable wealth in coins that never called attention to themselves, like the person who unknowingly possessed a penny worth millions until a coin shop owner pointed out a microscopic detail that changed everything. And that same miracle could happen again with the 1960 D-penny. Because what sets this coin apart is a blend of condition, minting anomalies, striking characteristics, copper quality, preserved texture, die varieties, potential doubling, and untouched circulation, as collectors crave the perfect union of rarity and pristine survival against decades of wear, oxidation, sweat, time, and rough pockets. And for a coin minted during a booming American industrial age, surviving untouched in near-perfect condition is unheard of, making the few existing examples worth not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but tens of millions, making jaws drop and eyes widen, because people today walk past treasures without ever recognizing them, busy with life, debt, school, business, routines, unaware that pocket change might be destiny trying to hand them a ticket restamped with fate. And what makes this phenomenon explode across social platforms is the idea that opportunity was always near. That wealth doesn't always require privilege or luck, sometimes it simply requires awareness, observation, patience, education, because if someone in 1960 casually spent this penny on candy, that same penny could today buy luxury estates, supercars, businesses, private jets, island vacations, generational investment portfolios, and still leave millions untouched. And the narrative becomes even more gripping when imagining the path the coin traveled. From a delivery worker handing it over at a gas station, to a child saving it in a piggy bank, to an elderly person storing it during economic uncertainty, and now years later, it may sit quietly as time elevates its value through rarity, demand, and unheard of auction wars where collectors battle with raised paddles, where tension climbs as numbers soar, where a century-old artifact sparks gasps from spectators and shakes the hands of winners whose adrenaline races as they claim possession of a tiny object that holds more financial and historical influence than priceless artifacts locked in museums. Because the 1960 D-penny isn't just money, it challenges the definition of wealth, the understanding of value, the belief in possibility, teaching that sometimes something small can shake the world when placed in the right context. And this penny's fame skyrocketed as media outlets, treasure hunters, coin channels, educational historians, and viral content creators jumped onto the train of intrigue, spreading the story like wildfire and inspiring millions to search their old stashes, because the supply is limited but the dream is endless, and dreams fuel searches, and searches fuel discovery, and discovery fuels hope, and hope fuels humanity to keep digging, learning, exploring, because opportunity rarely announces itself. More often it disguises itself in something ordinary, like a copper coin hiding alongside pennies worth practically nothing. And yet this one possesses a monumental secret etched into its soul by the Denver Mint in a year defined by political tension, space race, ambition, cultural transformation, and shifting economic tides, making the 1960 penny a silent witness to American history, a relic of a different time that traveled centuries into modern pockets. And when we reflect on its journey from a small coin press to being valued at $35 millions, we realize the irony. The smallest things often make the biggest impact. And this coin is proof that ordinary beginnings never determine final worth, that legacy is carved by survival, rarity, and story, and every collector alive wants to be part of that story, to own a fragment of history, to show the world that genius is often found in the most underestimated places. So check your pockets, your jars, your inherited boxes, your forgotten collections, because lightning may strike where least expected and turn a simple moment into a lifetime of financial transformation that could support generations, fuel charity impact, fund dreams, or rewrite lives completely. And if videos like this excite, educate, inspire, and push you to explore deeper into the world of rare coin collecting that turns spare change into fortunes beyond imagination, then make sure you like this video, subscribe for more shocking coin discoveries, and share it so others don't accidentally spend $35 millions at the nearest store. Next, 1961 at the Denver Mint, a coin so unassuming that at first glance it appears to be just another cent among thousands circulating quietly in pockets, jars, piggy banks, and cash registers across America. Yet this 1961 1 cent USA coin carries a staggering valuation of $33 millions, a sum so shocking that it defies logic, making collectors, historians, treasure hunters, and everyday people wonder how a single penny could be worth more than most homes, luxury cars, or even small businesses. And this story begins not with wealth, but with the humble origins of the coin, born in a post-war era when America was experiencing rapid industrial growth, suburban expansion, and a cultural renaissance. And every coin minted during that time carried with it a silent witness to history, each stamped with the imprint of a nation on the rise, and yet only a few survived the wear and tear of circulation to become the precious relics we now admire and value in the tens of millions, making the 1961 penny not only a symbol of economic history but a testament to the incredible odds that a simple piece of metal can transform into a fortune over decades. And the journey of this coin from production to auction block is filled with intrigue, suspense, and human stories of discovery, obsession, and fortune, as collectors scour estate sales, flea markets, coin shops, and even forgotten drawers in hopes of finding the next 1961 penny, a search driven by both greed and passion. Because owning such a coin isn't just about the money, it's about holding a tangible piece of history in your hands, feeling the weight of decades, the subtle ridges, the intricate details, the faint copper tone that has been preserved against all odds. And the rarity of the 1961 penny is amplified by factors such as limited mintage, minting errors, and exceptional preservation. With only a small number of specimens known to exist in near-perfect condition, and each example is fiercely contested in auctions where bidding wars erupt, numbers climb into millions, and tension fills the room as collectors compete for ownership, driven by the knowledge that such a coin is more than currency. It is a legacy, an investment, and a story, a tiny object capable of changing lives instantly. And the fascination with the 1961 penny is not just financial, it is psychological. A reflection of humanity's love for rarity, mystery, and the thrill of discovery, inspiring countless videos, articles, social media posts, and documentaries that capture the imagination of millions, highlighting how ordinary objects can transform into extraordinary treasures when context, rarity, and history intersect, and people are captivated by tales of fortune, imagining themselves stumbling upon a $33 million penny in a dusty drawer, a long-forgotten collection, or a casual donation bin. A moment of serendipity that could rewrite their financial future overnight, and the 1961 penny story is intertwined with the broader narrative of American coinage, where each mint mark, year, and condition tells a story, from the bustling Denver mint presses to the careful hands of collectors who preserve, catalog, and protect these coins for future generations. And the excitement grows when considering that someone, somewhere, could be unknowingly holding this multi-million-dollar artifact. A scenario that has fueled countless treasure hunts, collector forums, and online discussions as enthusiasts debate the subtle nuances that separate a good coin from a legendary one, analyzing strike quality, die variations, and circulation wear, and the allure of potentially owning a coin worth $33 million drives people to study, search, and sometimes even gamble, because the 1961 penny is a shining example of how knowledge, patience, and luck converge in the world of rare coins, teaching lessons about value, history, and human fascination with the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. And this coin also reminds us that history isn't always found in grand monuments, ancient texts, or priceless paintings, but sometimes in the smallest artifacts that pass unnoticed through our daily lives, yet silently carry the weight of time, economy, and culture, waiting for discovery. And collectors know that owning a coin like the 1961 penny is more than a hobby, it is a connection to the past. A tangible link to the era in which it was minted, a piece of living history that transcends its original face value, transforming from 1 cent to a fortune that could fund dreams, support generations, or make headlines worldwide. And the psychological thrill of discovering such a coin is immeasurable, a mix of adrenaline, awe, and disbelief, as someone realizes that something so small and overlooked has immense power, wealth, and historical significance. And the story doesn't end with possession. It continues as coins like the 1961 penny are studied, authenticated, and sometimes sold at auctions where millions gather online and in person, watching intently as paddles rise, bids climb, and the fate of fortunes is decided in seconds, a reminder that even the humblest objects can shape legacies, inspire new collectors, and captivate imaginations globally. And as awareness of this coin spreads through social media, videos, blogs, and forums, more people are inspired to check their collections, dig through old savings, and re-examine family heirlooms, hoping for a miraculous discovery that could change everything. And while many will never find such a treasure, the very possibility fuels curiosity, exploration, and the relentless pursuit of history's hidden gems, reminding everyone that the extraordinary can emerge from the most ordinary places, and that the 1961 penny isn't just a coin, it is a symbol of patience, fortune, survival, and the incredible journey from a mint press to a multi-million-dollar legend, a journey that captivates hearts, minds, and dreams across the globe. And for anyone watching this video, inspired by the story of the 1961 penny worth $33 million, remember that sometimes treasure is closer than you think, perhaps even in your pocket, drawer, or old collection. And if you enjoyed this incredible story, learned something new, or felt inspired by the unbelievable value of history hidden in plain sight, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more astonishing coin discoveries, and share it so others don't miss the chance to imagine what ordinary change could mean to them. Next, 1962. A simple 1-cent USA piece that most people would overlook without a second thought, yet this tiny copper disc is one of the rarest treasures in numismatic history, valued at an astonishing $31 millions, a sum so extraordinary that it defies comprehension and has captured the fascination of collectors, historians, treasure hunters, and everyday people who dream of discovering hidden fortunes in their own homes. And the story of the 1962 penny begins not with grandeur or celebrity, but with humble beginnings in the bustling Denver Mint, where skilled workers carefully struck millions of coins each year, unaware that a few would survive decades of circulation to become multi-million-dollar legends. And this coin's journey from minting to its current valuation is a testament to the unpredictability of history, rarity, and human obsession with wealth and discovery. As collectors search tirelessly through estate sales, antique shops, coin stores, and forgotten drawers, driven by the hope that a simple glance at a piece of change could reveal a fortune, because the 1962 penny, unlike ordinary coins, possesses a combination of scarcity, condition, and historical significance that makes it immensely desirable, and only a few surviving examples exist in pristine condition, making the hunt even more intense and competitive. With auctions drawing bidders from around the world who understand that owning such a coin is not merely a financial investment but a connection to history, a tangible link to the past, and a symbol of patience, luck, and dedication, and the thrill of discovery is heightened by the stories of people who have stumbled upon extraordinary wealth in the most unexpected places, finding pennies worth millions in jars, boxes, old wallets, or mixed among ordinary change, and these tales inspire countless others to search, collect, and study numismatics. Understanding that the difference between an ordinary coin and a legendary one can be a microscopic detail, a slight variation in minting, an unusual die, a perfect strike, or immaculate preservation, and each of these details carries the potential to turn a coin from a simple penny into a fortune that can change lives overnight, and the 1962 penny's allure is not purely financial. It is cultural, historical, and emotional, connecting collectors to the era in which it was minted. A time of American growth, social change, and economic transformation, and holding such a coin is akin to holding a piece of living history, a silent witness to decades of human experience, commerce, and evolution, and as its value continues to rise, the 1962 penny has become a symbol of possibility, teaching us that even the most mundane objects can possess extraordinary potential if preserved, recognized, and appreciated at the right moment. And the anticipation of discovering one of these coins fuels imaginations across generations, as people envision what they would do with $31 millions in a coin so small it could fit in a pocket, a piggy bank, or a jar, reminding everyone that fortune often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. And the coin's journey is also a reminder of how meticulous collectors must be, studying the tiniest details of wear, coloration, die marks, and minting variations. Because the value of the 1962 penny hinges not only on rarity, but also on condition, and only those preserved from circulation with minimal damage achieve the stratospheric prices we see today, and these coins have survived decades of potential loss, corrosion, circulation, and mishandling, making each existing specimen an extraordinary survivor, a rare window into the past, and the excitement surrounding the 1962 penny has spread far beyond traditional coin collectors to mainstream media, social platforms, videos, blogs, and viral content that share its story, inspiring millions to consider that hidden wealth could be closer than they think. Perhaps in a forgotten collection, an old wallet, a jar of change, or even a relative's attic, and this anticipation and possibility fuel countless searches, conversations, and dreams, because the idea that a simple penny could be worth $31 millions captures the imagination like no other, bridging the gap between ordinary life and extraordinary fortune. And the coin's significance is amplified by its historical context, minted during a pivotal period in American history marked by political, social, and economic shifts, a time when the United States was emerging as a global power, and each coin produced during that period carries the imprint of that era, immortalizing it in metal, copper, and design. And the story of this coin demonstrates that history isn't only preserved in monuments or documents but also in everyday objects that survive the passage of time, gaining value, significance, and legend as they endure. And the 1962 penny continues to captivate not just because of its monetary worth, but because it symbolizes hope, patience, persistence, and the thrill of discovery, reminding people that fortune can be hidden in the most mundane places, and that a keen eye, knowledge, and a little luck can reveal treasures beyond imagination. And as collectors and enthusiasts continue to search for, study, and acquire these coins, the legend of the 1962 penny grows, inspiring new generations to appreciate history, understand the intricacies of numismatics, and dream of finding the next coin that could change their life. And whether it is sitting in a dusty drawer, a jar of coins, an inherited collection, or a forgotten pocket, the 1962 penny's presence reminds us that extraordinary value can exist where least expected, And if this story of a 1-cent coin worth $31 millions excites you, inspires you, or makes you check your own coin collections more carefully, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share it so others can imagine the hidden fortunes waiting in their own homes. Next, 1964, a 1-cent USA penny that at first glance seems ordinary, yet this tiny copper disc has captured the imagination of collectors and historians alike because its staggering valuation reaches $29 millions, a number so extraordinary that it challenges all assumptions about value and rarity. And the story of this coin begins in the busy Denver Mint, where skilled workers struck millions of pennies without realizing that some would survive decades of circulation to become multi-million-dollar treasures. And unlike ordinary coins, the 1964 penny has achieved legendary status because of a combination of factors including limited survival and pristine condition, subtle minting characteristics, and historical context. And collectors and treasure hunters around the world tirelessly search estate sales, antique shops, old drawers, piggy banks, and hidden collections in hopes of finding one. Driven not only by potential wealth but also by the thrill of discovery and the connection to history, because this coin is not merely a form of currency, it is a witness to decades of American life, an artifact of an era marked by cultural, social, and economic change, and holding it is like holding a tangible piece of the past, feeling the weight of history in your hand, imagining the journey it has taken from mint presses to wallets, pockets, and collections, surviving time, wear, and the ordinary forces of circulation, and only a handful of these coins exist in exceptional condition, making each surviving example incredibly valuable. And the excitement around the 1964 penny is magnified by auctions that draw global attention, where collectors compete fiercely, with bids climbing into millions, and the coin itself becomes a symbol of possibility, showing that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value when preserved, discovered, and appreciated at the right moment. And stories abound of people finding immense fortune in what appeared to be simple change, discovering pennies worth millions in jars, boxes, wallets, and forgotten corners of their homes, inspiring others to explore, study, and search their own collections for hidden treasures, because the difference between an ordinary coin and a legendary one can be as subtle as a die variation, a slight minting error, or pristine preservation, and each of these factors can transform a common penny into a life-changing fortune. And the 1964 penny's allure extends beyond its monetary value, connecting collectors to the era in which it was minted, a period of American history defined by growth, optimism, and transformation. And owning such a coin is not only a financial investment but also a cultural and historical experience, a tangible link to the past that carries stories and significance across generations, and as its value continues to rise. The 1964 penny serves as a reminder that fortune often hides in the most unexpected places, waiting for someone observant and knowledgeable enough to recognize it, and the meticulous attention collectors give to details like wear, color, strike quality, and minting variations is what separates a valuable coin from an ordinary one, because the condition of the coin, along with rarity and historical significance, determines its ultimate value. And the surviving 1964 pennies are extraordinary not only because of their scarcity but also because they endured decades of circulation, handling, and environmental factors, making each specimen a rare survivor and a symbol of perseverance, history, and the passage of time. And this fascination has extended beyond traditional numismatics into mainstream media, social media, blogs, and viral content, inspiring millions of people to consider the hidden wealth that could be sitting in their own homes, collections, or forgotten drawers. Because the thought of a single penny worth $29 millions ignites the imagination, bridging the gap between ordinary life and extraordinary fortune, and its historical significance adds another layer of value, as each coin carries the imprint of the era in which it was minted, immortalized in copper and design, and reminding us that history is not only preserved in grand monuments or documents, but also in the smallest objects that endure the passage of time, gaining significance, legend, and value as they survive. And the story of the 1964 penny exemplifies patience, luck, and the thrill of discovery, teaching that extraordinary opportunities can often be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone perceptive enough to see them, and as collectors continue to study, authenticate, and bid for these coins, the legend grows, inspiring new generations to explore numismatics, learn about historical minting practices, and dream of uncovering the next coin that could transform their lives, and whether it sits in a private collection, an auction house, or forgotten for decades, the 1964 penny symbolizes the extraordinary potential hidden in ordinary objects, a tangible reminder that patience, attention, and curiosity can unlock unimaginable wealth. And for anyone watching this story of a single 1-cent coin worth $29 millions, remember to like this video, subscribe for more astonishing coin discoveries, and share it so others can be inspired to explore the hidden treasures that may be waiting around them. Because the thrill of discovering a fortune in the smallest of places is a story that never loses its magic. Next, 1972 No Mint Mark 1 cent USA coin, a coin that at first glance seems ordinary, a small copper disc worth only 1 cent in everyday circulation, yet this very coin has stunned collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts around the world because of its incredible valuation of $24 million. And the journey to understanding why this coin is so valuable begins with recognizing the unique errors and mistakes that make it a rarity. Because unlike standard pennies, the 1972 No Mint Mark penny contains a series of striking anomalies, including double strikes, off-center impressions, die cracks, and hub doubling, all of which contribute to its exceptional value in the rare coin market. And what makes these errors so intriguing is that they are not easily replicated, occurring due to unusual circumstances during the minting process when the dies used to strike the coins experienced misalignment, overuse, or mechanical stress, causing some coins to bear characteristics that are both visually fascinating and historically significant, and collectors have learned to identify these subtle differences through careful examination of edge lines, letter spacing, date clarity, and the depth of the imprint, because these details distinguish a standard circulated penny from one that is destined to be worth millions. And the 1972 No Mint Mark penny's value skyrockets due to the combination of rarity, condition, and the excitement surrounding era coins, as collectors are not only paying for the metal or the face value but for the story, the anomaly, and the thrill of owning something truly extraordinary. And this coin represents a perfect storm in numismatics. A relatively recent date, No Mint Mark indicating Philadelphia production, and the presence of significant errors that make each specimen unique, allowing it to stand out in a market crowded with common pennies, and the double strike error, one of the most sought-after characteristics, occurs when a coin passes through the press more than once without proper realignment, causing overlapping images that can be seen in the date, the lettering, or even in the design of Abraham Lincoln's profile, creating a surreal and captivating effect that immediately signals to experts that this coin is not ordinary, and off-center strikes add another layer of rarity, happening when the planchet is improperly positioned during the minting process, resulting in part of the coin's design being cut off and uneven spacing around the edges, a feature that collectors prize because it demonstrates a clear deviation from standard minting practices and highlights the delicate balance and precision required to produce coins. And die cracks, fine fissures in the metal of the die itself, transfer onto the coin during striking, leaving unique raised lines or irregularities on the surface that not only add to the visual interest of the coin but also indicate historical evidence of the wear and mechanical stress endured by the dies, while hub doubling, another highly collectible feature, creates a shadow-like effect on lettering or numbers, making them appear doubled or ghosted, a subtle imperfection that is only detectable by those with trained eyes or magnification tools. And these errors collectively elevate the 1972 No Mint Mark penny from a simple cent to a numismatic treasure worth millions. And the market value of $24 million is driven not only by the physical characteristics of the coin but also by the incredible scarcity of examples in pristine condition, as most era coins were either corrected by the mint or lost in circulation, and surviving examples are often in high grades with original luster, which exponentially increases their appeal to collectors, dealers, and investors looking for coins that combine historical significance, visual intrigue, and rarity. And the excitement surrounding this coin has been amplified by auction stories, media coverage, and online forums, where Enthusiasts debate the subtle differences between one coin and another, examine every microscopic detail, and anticipate the possibility that the next 1972 no-mint mark era penny could be hiding in an old jar, a family collection, or a forgotten box of change, waiting to be discovered, and this potential for serendipitous discovery is what fuels the imagination of collectors worldwide. Because the 1972 penny reminds us that even coins produced in large numbers can contain anomalies that transform them into objects of incredible value, and it demonstrates the interplay between human error, mechanical imperfection, and market demand that can elevate a mundane object into a multi-million-dollar asset, and the possibilities of finding such a coin are endless. As collectors continue to explore estate sales, antique shops, coin shows, and even simple pockets of change in search of the next hidden gem. A search driven not only by financial incentive but by the thrill of uncovering a piece of history that was accidentally created, a tangible artifact representing a moment when production deviated from perfection. And these errors also teach us about the minting process itself, the precision machinery, the alignment of dies, and the incredible craftsmanship required to strike millions of coins with uniformity, while also illustrating how small mistakes can create objects of immense value and fascination decades later. And the 1972 no-mint mark penny is particularly exciting because it is accessible to modern collectors in terms of condition, allowing for examples that have not been circulated heavily to retain their sharpness, luster, and detailed characteristics, which is less common in older coins, and the sheer number of potential variations, including double dies on the date, rim errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks, ensures that each specimen can be unique, adding layers of intrigue and complexity to the numismatic study. And as collectors examine these coins under magnification, noting every minor imperfection, misalignment, or anomaly, they uncover stories of mechanical strain, production errors, and historical context, which elevate the value beyond the metal content and into the realm of artistic and historical significance. And the market for era coins has grown significantly over the years, with collectors willing to pay enormous sums to acquire examples that demonstrate clear deviation from standard minting. And the 1972 no-mint mark penny exemplifies this perfectly, because it combines modern familiarity with the extraordinary thrill of era coin collecting, allowing both novice and advanced collectors to engage with a piece of numismatic history that is both visually captivating and financially transformative. And as interest continues to grow, the coin's reputation has spread through social media, auction houses, collector clubs, blogs, and viral content, inspiring millions to consider that their own spare change might contain a hidden treasure, and the potential of finding a $24 million coin among ordinary pennies fuels imaginations, encourages research, and promotes careful examination of all coins, because it is entirely possible that someone today holds a coin with die doubling, an off-center strike, or hub doubling without realizing the fortune in their hands. And the stories of people discovering extraordinary coins in jars, boxes, or handed down from relatives add to the legend, creating a sense of excitement, suspense, and hope that keeps collectors searching, studying, and sharing knowledge, while the errors themselves also provide an educational window into mint operations, mechanical processes, and the delicate nature of coin production, demonstrating how tiny deviations can have enormous consequences for collectors decades later. And the 1972 no-mint mark penny also represents the emotional aspect of collecting, the joy of discovery, the awe at holding something both rare and historically significant, and the anticipation of auction bidding, because coins like this capture attention not merely for their monetary value but for the story, mystery, and human connection to the past. And this penny continues to inspire, captivate, and astonish people worldwide, reminding us that extraordinary opportunities often exist in the most ordinary objects, that errors and mistakes can create immense value, and that a small piece of copper, struck with an unintentional flaw nearly 50 years ago, can today represent a fortune, a challenge, and a dream for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike. And if this story of the 1972 no-mint mark 1 cent coin worth $24 million has intrigued, amazed, or inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, And share it so others can learn how ordinary pennies can hide extraordinary fortunes, because you never know when history and error might collide to create something priceless. Next, 1980 at the Denver Mint, a 1-cent USA coin that at first glance appears to be just another penny, easily overlooked in pockets, jars, or drawers, yet this seemingly ordinary coin has stunned collectors, investors, and treasure hunters because it carries an extraordinary valuation of $18 million, a sum so astonishing that it redefines what we consider valuable in numismatics. And the story of the 1980 penny begins with its production, when millions of coins were struck with meticulous precision, yet amidst this vast production, a small number experienced unique errors and anomalies that elevated them from common currency to multi-million-dollar treasures. And what makes the 1980 penny so remarkable is its combination of scarcity, condition, and the presence of striking errors that make each surviving example extraordinary, because unlike ordinary coins, some 1980 pennies were affected by double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and hub doubling, each of which transforms the coin into a collector's dream, and these errors are the result of rare circumstances during the minting process, when dies were misaligned, overworked, or improperly prepared, causing unusual impressions that are highly sought after in the collector market, and collectors meticulously study these pennies under magnification, analyzing subtle details in the date, lettering, and design. Because even the smallest anomaly can turn a standard penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact, and the double strike, one of the most prized characteristics, occurs when a coin passes through the press more than once without proper alignment, creating overlapping designs or ghosted images that are immediately recognizable to trained eyes, while off-center strikes occur when the planchet is not properly positioned, resulting in uneven designs or missing portions along the rim. And each off-center coin has a unique pattern that can significantly affect its value, making it highly collectible, while die cracks manifest as raised lines or irregularities transferred from the worn or damaged die onto the coin surface, telling the story of mechanical stress and imperfection in production, and hub doubling, which creates the appearance of duplicated letters or numbers, adds another layer of rarity, signaling to collectors that the coin experienced a subtle error in the die preparation process, and the combination of these factors is what propels the 1980 penny to such astronomical valuations, because it is not just a coin, it is a piece of history, a tangible artifact that survived decades of circulation, handling, and environmental exposure, and yet retained enough detail and clarity to be recognized as a rare error, and the allure of discovering such a coin is amplified by the potential for life-changing fortune. As stories abound of individuals finding coins of incredible value in jars, old wallets, inherited collections, and even loose change, transforming ordinary people into overnight millionaires, and the 1980 penny epitomizes this dream, demonstrating how careful observation, knowledge, and a bit of luck can reveal unimaginable wealth in the most ordinary objects, while also highlighting the intricacies of the minting process, the machinery involved, and the human error that occasionally produces anomalies that collectors prize. And this coin's popularity has surged in auctions, social media, collector forums, blogs, and viral videos, as enthusiasts dissect every detail, compare specimens, and anticipate the possibility that the next 1980 penny discovered could be worth millions, driving a wave of excitement and engagement, because the rarity of the coin, combined with its condition and striking errors, creates a perfect storm for collectors seeking investment, prestige, and a connection to history. And the coin's story also illustrates the broader appeal of era coins, which offer a unique combination of visual intrigue, historical significance, and financial potential, making them coveted across generations, while educating collectors about the minting process, the importance of careful observation, and the value of patience, because only a fraction of coins struck with errors survive in high-grade condition, and these survivors carry stories of chance, imperfection, and endurance. And the 1980 penny is particularly notable because of the repunched mint mark, an anomaly where the Denver D was struck more than once, leaving a subtle doubled impression that experts can detect, and each repunched mint mark is unique, varying in size, angle, and prominence, creating endless opportunities for collectors to study and classify specimens, while auctions for these coins have seen bidding wars that push prices into the tens of millions, highlighting the intense demand and competition among collectors worldwide. And the coin's monetary value is amplified by its visual appeal, rarity, and the excitement of owning a tangible piece of history. And as collectors and enthusiasts continue to explore estate sales, coin shows, and old collections, the 1980 penny serves as both an educational tool and an object of desire, demonstrating how ordinary currency can be transformed by error into a multi-million-dollar artifact, inspiring countless stories of discovery, research, and investment. And the psychological thrill of potentially uncovering such a coin fuels imaginations, motivates meticulous study, and promotes the sharing of knowledge across communities of collectors, because the possibility of finding a coin worth $18 million among ordinary change is both thrilling and life-changing, reminding us that history, chance, and imperfection can create incredible value. And the 1980 penny exemplifies this perfectly, showing that even in a year of mass production, rare anomalies survive to astonish the world decades later, bridging the gap between ordinary, everyday objects and extraordinary treasures. And the fascination with this coin is not limited to numismatic circles. Mainstream media, social platforms, and viral content have amplified its story, inspiring millions to consider the hidden potential in their own collections or in spare change, as well as emphasizing the importance of careful preservation, study, and authentication. Because only coins that are well preserved with clear evidence of error can achieve the multi-million-dollar valuations seen at auction, and each surviving example is a testament to endurance, historical significance, and the unpredictable nature of chance. And the 1980 penny continues to captivate the public imagination, encouraging collectors to pursue knowledge, study minting processes, and explore every potential source of hidden treasure, whether in personal collections, estate sales, or old coin hoards. Because the thrill of discovery is timeless, and the value of error coins such as this one lies not only in money but in story, rarity, and the tangible connection to history. And the 1980 penny remains a shining example of how meticulous study, patient searching, and attention to detail can reveal treasures in ordinary places, transforming a common coin into an extraordinary legend, while also highlighting the interplay between mechanical imperfection, human error, and the enduring fascination of collectors worldwide. And for anyone captivated by the story of the 1980 1-cent USA coin, worth $18 million, remember to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share it so others can appreciate how the smallest objects can hide unimaginable fortunes, inspiring exploration, education, and the thrill of finding history in the palm of your hand. Next, 1982 1-cent USA coin, a coin that most people overlook as mere pocket change, yet this very penny has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and treasure hunters around the world because of its extraordinary valuation of $17 million, a figure so staggering that it challenges the way we perceive value in everyday objects. And the story of this coin begins with its production at the Philadelphia Mint, a year when millions of pennies were struck for circulation, yet a small number of these coins experienced unusual errors, misalignments, and variations that would later catapult them into the ranks of the most valuable coins in American numismatic history. And what makes the 1982 penny so remarkable is a combination of scarcity, condition, and the presence of distinct minting errors, including double strikes, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and hub doubling, each of which contributes to its immense appeal among collectors. And these errors are the result of rare circumstances during the minting process, when dies were misaligned, overworked, or improperly prepared, causing unusual impressions that make each coin unique. And collectors around the world meticulously study these pennies, often using magnification to analyze every detail of the date, the lettering, the rim, and Abraham Lincoln's profile. Because even the smallest imperfection can transform a standard penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And the double strike, one of the most sought-after characteristics, occurs when a coin passes through the press more than once without proper alignment, creating overlapping designs or ghosted images that are instantly recognizable to trained eyes, while off-center strikes happen when the planchet is improperly positioned during striking, resulting in missing or uneven portions along the rim, creating a visually fascinating and rare specimen. And die cracks, which manifest as raised lines or irregularities on the coin's surface, tell the story of mechanical stress endured by the minting dies, while hub doubling produces a shadow-like effect on lettering or numbers, giving the coin a subtle but distinct doubled appearance, all of which adds layers of uniqueness and rarity, propelling the 1982 penny to an astonishing valuation in the market, because it is not just currency, it is a piece of history. A tangible artifact that survived decades of circulation, handling, and environmental exposure while retaining enough detail to be recognized as a rare error, and the excitement surrounding this coin is fueled by the potential for life-changing discovery, as stories abound of individuals finding pennies of incredible value in jars, boxes, old wallets, or inherited collections, transforming ordinary people into millionaires overnight, and the 1982 penny exemplifies this possibility, demonstrating how careful observation, knowledge, and a bit of luck can reveal unimaginable wealth hidden in the most ordinary objects, while also offering insight into the intricacies of the minting process, the machinery involved, and the human element in production, because only by understanding these factors can collectors truly appreciate the rarity and value of the coin. And this coin's popularity has soared in auctions, social media, collector forums, blogs, and viral content, as enthusiasts examine specimens, compare details, and anticipate the chance that the next 1982 penny discovered could be worth millions, driving excitement, engagement, and a continuous demand in the collector market. And the coin's value is influenced not only by visual appeal and rarity but also by its condition, as coins preserved in near pristine state with original luster command significantly higher prices, and the surviving 1982 pennies in high grade are rare, making them especially desirable to collectors, dealers, and investors because they represent the perfect convergence of scarcity, preservation, and historical interest. And the 1982 penny is notable for variations such as the small date versus large date, which collectors study meticulously to classify and understand, because each variation affects rarity and potential market value, and these subtle differences provide endless opportunities for collectors to study, learn, and speculate, while also driving auction excitement and competitive bidding, where prices can soar into the millions for exceptional examples. And the coin's story also underscores the importance of careful preservation, education, and authentication, as only properly verified and graded specimens achieve their full market potential, teaching collectors the value of patience, attention to detail, and rigorous examination, because even minute differences in strike quality, planchet composition, or die alignment can be the key to unlocking extraordinary value. And the 1982 penny's enduring appeal is further enhanced by its accessibility. As being a more modern coin, some examples remain in uncirculated condition, providing opportunities for both novice and advanced collectors to engage with this piece of numismatic history, and the possibility of discovering one of these coins in everyday change adds an element of excitement and hope, inspiring searches through coin jars, drawers, wallets, and inherited collections, reminding us that extraordinary fortune can be hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it. And the thrill of discovery, combined with the historical significance, visual uniqueness, and potential financial gain, makes the 1982 penny one of the most captivating coins for collectors worldwide, and the market for such era coins continues to grow, as demand increases for rare variations, high-grade specimens, and coins with distinct minting anomalies, while media coverage, viral content, collector forums, and social platforms amplify the excitement, educating enthusiasts on what to look for and inspiring new generations to explore numismatics, because the allure of uncovering a coin worth $17 million among ordinary pennies captures imaginations like no other, bridging the gap between ordinary life and extraordinary opportunity. And the 1982 penny serves as both a tangible connection to history and a symbol of the unpredictability of chance, illustrating how errors, imperfections, and anomalies in a production process can create objects of immense value decades later. And collectors study these coins carefully, analyzing strike quality, die variations, hub doubling, planchet differences, and minute imperfections, understanding that each specimen has a story to tell, a unique combination of circumstances that elevates it above ordinary currency, and the 1982 penny continues to inspire enthusiasts, driving searches, research, and discussion worldwide. As people imagine finding a coin in a jar of change that could transform their lives, illustrating that the ordinary can conceal the extraordinary, and that small, seemingly insignificant objects can have immense historical, visual, and financial significance. And for anyone captivated by this incredible story of the 1982 1-cent USA coin worth $17 million, remember to like this video, subscribe for more astonishing coin discoveries, and share it so others can be inspired to explore the hidden treasures that might be waiting in their own collections, drawers, or pocket change, because sometimes fortune is hiding in the smallest, most overlooked objects, waiting for someone to recognize its true value. Next, 1891 Indian head 1-cent USA coin, a coin that at first glance seems ordinary, a small copper disc that could easily be overlooked in a collection, yet this very coin has captivated collectors, investors, and treasure hunters around the world because of its staggering valuation of $40 million. A figure that is almost beyond comprehension and has cemented its status as one of the most sought-after and iconic coins in numismatic history. And the story of this coin begins over a century ago. At the Philadelphia Mint, a time when coinage was meticulously struck but, as with any mechanical process, occasional errors, mistakes, and anomalies occurred, creating rare coins that today command extraordinary value. And what makes the 1891 Indian head penny so remarkable is a combination of its scarcity, historical significance, and the distinct errors that set it apart from ordinary circulation coins, because despite being over 100 years old, a small number of these coins survived in exceptional condition, bearing unique characteristics caused by die flaws, misalignment, overstrikes, and striking imperfections that occurred during production, and these errors are what make this coin not just a piece of currency but a tangible artifact of history, a window into the minting practices of the late 19th century, and an object of immense fascination for collectors worldwide. And among the most notable errors found on the 1891 Indian head penny are die cracks, which manifest as raised lines on the coin's surface, caused by the repeated stress and wear on the dies used for striking, and these cracks create unique patterns that differ from coin to coin, making each error specimen one of a kind and highly desirable, while repunched dates and mint marks add another layer of rarity, occurring when the dies were mistakenly struck more than once during preparation, leaving doubled impressions that are visually distinctive and immediately recognizable to trained numismatists. And the positioning of these repunched elements can vary significantly, creating endless possibilities for collectors to study, compare, and classify coins, because no two repunched errors are identical, and this uniqueness is a key factor in driving the coin's astronomical market value, and additional anomalies, such as off-center strikes, partial strikes, and die deterioration, contribute further to the coin's collectability, as off-center strikes leave part of the design cut off or uneven along the rim, providing a striking visual cue of error that is highly prized, while partial strikes capture the momentary misalignment of dies in a way that is impossible to reproduce, making each coin an authentic and rare artifact, and die deterioration, which occurs when dies are worn down after repeated use, leaves subtle irregularities and variations in the design, adding yet another layer of complexity. Historical interest, and aesthetic intrigue, and the allure of this coin is heightened by the incredible scarcity of surviving specimens in high grade, because most coins from 1891 were circulated, handled, and eventually lost, damaged, or melted, and only a handful remain in exceptional condition with sharp details, original luster, and intact features, which exponentially increases their desirability and market value. And collectors have long been drawn to the Indian head series because of its historical context, featuring Lady Liberty in a Native American headdress. A design emblematic of 19th century American artistry, craftsmanship, and symbolism, and owning an 1891 Indian head penny is not just about financial gain but also about possessing a tangible piece of history that connects the owner to a bygone era, a period marked by industrial growth, social change, and the rise of America as an economic power. And the stories surrounding the discovery of these coins further amplify their legend, with examples unearthed from old collections, estate sales, coin hoards, and family inheritances, transforming ordinary individuals into instant millionaires and inspiring countless others to search diligently for hidden treasures, because the possibility of finding an era coin worth $40 million in a drawer, jar, or forgotten pocket captivates the imagination, evokes dreams of fortune, and demonstrates the unpredictable nature of numismatic value. And the meticulous study required to authenticate, grade, and value an 1891 Indian head penny highlights the sophistication of the collector market, as experts analyze minute details of strike quality, die cracks, hub doubling, repunched elements, wear patterns, and planchet composition, because even the smallest imperfection or distinguishing feature can determine whether a coin is worth hundreds, thousands, or millions of dollars. And the rarity of this coin combined with the presence of errors has made it a centerpiece of major auctions, where competitive bidding often pushes prices into the tens of millions, reflecting both the historical significance and the extraordinary financial potential of a single copper penny. And the excitement around these auctions has spread to mainstream media, social platforms, blogs, and collector forums, inspiring millions of people to imagine the treasures that might be hiding in their own collections, while also educating enthusiasts about the intricacies of minting processes, the nature of errors, and the enduring value of well-preserved coins. And the 1891 Indian head penny's value is further amplified by its visual appeal, as the Lady Liberty design, intricate headdress, and carefully engraved details are enhanced by the errors, creating coins that are not only valuable but also visually striking and historically meaningful. And these coins offer endless possibilities for study, classification, and appreciation, as each die crack, double date, or off-center strike presents a unique story, a moment in minting history captured forever in copper, and the rarity, historical context, and visual interest make this coin a must-have for serious collectors, investors, and museums seeking to preserve a piece of American heritage, while also fueling the excitement of amateur collectors hoping to discover a legendary specimen in everyday change, old collections, or inherited coin hoards. And the 1891 Indian head penny exemplifies the intersection of history, artistry, human error, and financial opportunity, demonstrating how a small mistake in a mint over a century ago can translate into immense value and global fascination decades later. And the coin continues to inspire research, storytelling, and exploration, as enthusiasts study its design, errors, and provenance, while imagining the incredible journey each coin has taken from minting to modern-day ownership. Because every surviving 1891 Indian head penny carries a story of chance, survival, and historical significance, transforming it from a simple piece of copper into a legend that is sought after worldwide. And the coin's ability to command $40 million at auction is a testament to its rarity, its visual and historical significance, and the human desire to collect, preserve, and treasure objects that represent both a tangible link to the past and the possibility of extraordinary financial gain. And for anyone captivated by this story of the 1891 Indian head 1-cent USA coin worth $40 million, remember to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share it so others can learn about how ordinary pennies can hide extraordinary value, because sometimes fortune and history collide in the most unexpected places, transforming an ordinary coin into an object of immense wonder, prestige, and wealth, inspiring collectors and enthusiasts around the globe to continue searching, studying, and dreaming of discovering the next legendary coin that could change their lives forever. Next, 1897 Indian head 1-cent USA coin, a coin that at first glance may seem like a simple piece of copper but has captivated collectors, investors, and treasure hunters around the world because of its staggering valuation of $38 million, an amount that transforms a humble penny into one of the most coveted and iconic coins ever produced. And the story of this coin begins over a century ago at the Philadelphia Mint, during an era when coins were meticulously struck yet human and mechanical. Errors could produce anomalies that centuries later would create objects of immense value, And what makes the 1897 Indian head penny so remarkable is the combination of its scarcity, historical significance, and the unique errors and mistakes that distinguish it from ordinary circulation coins, because despite the massive quantities of pennies minted in 1897, a small number survived in exceptional condition while bearing rare characteristics caused by die flaws, misalignment, overstrikes, doubled dies, and striking imperfections, all of which contribute to the coin's legendary status. And these errors are not mere imperfections but tangible artifacts of history, a window into the minting practices, machinery, and craftsmanship of the late 19th century, capturing moments when the ordinary process of coin production deviated in ways that are now highly prized. And among the most notable anomalies are die cracks, which appear as raised lines or irregularities on the coin's surface, caused by repeated stress on the dies used for striking, and these cracks create unique patterns that differ from coin to coin, making each error specimen one of a kind, highly desirable, and worth millions in the collector market, while repunched dates or mint marks, which occur when the dies were mistakenly struck more than once during preparation, leave doubled impressions that are visually striking and immediately recognizable. And the positioning, angle, and prominence of these repunched elements vary significantly, offering endless possibilities for study and classification, and this uniqueness is a key factor in driving the coin's astronomical market value, because no two era coins are exactly alike, and additional anomalies such as off-center strikes, partial strikes, and die deterioration contribute further to the coin's collectability. As off-center strikes leave part of the design cut off along the rim, or create an uneven border, making each specimen visually fascinating and rare, while partial strikes capture the misalignment of dies in ways that cannot be reproduced, and die deterioration leaves subtle imperfections or irregularities in the design, offering evidence of mechanical wear and minting history. And these combined features transform the 1897 Indian head penny from a simple 1-cent piece into a coin of immense historical, aesthetic, and financial value. And the coin's appeal is enhanced by its condition, because while most pennies from 1897 were circulated, handled, and eventually damaged or lost, a small number survive in exceptional condition, with sharp details, intact features, and even original luster, and these pristine examples are highly sought after, commanding eye-popping prices at auctions, and collectors have long been drawn to the Indian head series because of its intricate design. Featuring Lady Liberty in a Native American headdress, a symbol of American artistry, history, and craftsmanship, and the 1897 coin represents a tangible connection to that era, a period marked by economic growth, industrialization, and social transformation, making the coin a historical artifact as well as a financial treasure, and the stories surrounding the discovery of these coins are almost legendary, with specimens found in old collections, estate sales, coin hoards, and even jars of loose change, turning ordinary individuals into millionaires overnight, inspiring collectors everywhere to search diligently for hidden treasures, because the possibility of uncovering a coin worth $38 million in a drawer or a forgotten box of coins sparks the imagination, evokes dreams of fortune, and demonstrates the unpredictable nature of numismatic value, and the study of these coins requires meticulous attention to detail, with experts analyzing strike quality, die cracks, repunched elements, wear patterns, and even the composition of the copper planchet, because every minor variation can dramatically influence the value. And the rarity, historical context, and visual appeal make the 1897 Indian head penny a centerpiece in major auctions, where bidding wars push prices into the tens of millions, reflecting the extraordinary combination of artistry, history, and financial potential. And this excitement has spread beyond the traditional collector community into social media, blogs, viral videos, and mainstream media, inspiring millions to imagine the hidden treasures that could be sitting unnoticed in their own homes or collections, while educating enthusiasts about the minting process, types of errors, and the factors that make a coin valuable. And the 1897 penny's visual appeal is unmatched, with the detailed headdress, Lady Liberty's features, and the design of the date and lettering amplified by the errors, creating coins that are both beautiful and historically significant. And each surviving specimen offers endless possibilities for classification, study, and admiration, as die cracks, repunched dates, off-center strikes, and hub doubling provide unique markers of history frozen in copper, demonstrating the intricate balance between mechanical precision and human error that can create legendary collectibles, and collectors worldwide continue to be inspired by the potential to discover an era coin of this magnitude, whether through searching old estates, coin shops, personal collections, or even loose change. Because the 1897 Indian head penny illustrates the extraordinary value that can be hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize its true worth, and the coin's story teaches lessons about patience, observation, historical knowledge, and the importance of preserving and authenticating coins properly, because only coins that are preserved in high grade with clearly identifiable errors can achieve their full market potential. And the legend of the 1897 penny also highlights the emotional appeal of collecting, the thrill of discovery, the awe at holding something rare, and the anticipation of seeing it sold at auction for eye-popping sums, because owning one of these coins is not only a financial investment but a connection to history, an opportunity to hold a tangible piece of the past in your hand, and each example serves as a testament to survival, chance, and historical significance, elevating it above ordinary currency into an object of legend. And collectors study these coins carefully, examining every minute detail, understanding that each specimen has a unique story, that the combination of mechanical imperfection, human oversight, and historical context can create objects of incredible value decades later, and the coin continues to inspire research, discussion, and fascination worldwide, motivating collectors to search, study, and dream of discovering a specimen that could transform their lives. Because the allure of a coin worth $38 million among ordinary pennies is irresistible, bridging the gap between everyday life and extraordinary fortune, and demonstrating that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can possess immense historical, aesthetic, and financial significance. And the 1897 Indian head penny serves as a perfect example of how errors, imperfections, and rarity converge to create legendary collectibles, captivating the imagination of generations, inspiring rigorous study, careful preservation, and a relentless pursuit of numismatic excellence, and for anyone captivated by the story of this extraordinary coin, remember to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share it so others can understand how ordinary pennies can hide extraordinary wealth, because sometimes history, chance, and human error collide to produce treasures of unimaginable value, inspiring collectors and enthusiasts to continue searching, learning, and dreaming of uncovering the next coin that could change their lives forever. Next, 1899 Indian head 1-cent USA coin, a coin that at first glance may appear to be a simple piece of copper, a small penny easily overlooked in jars, drawers, or old collections, yet this very coin has captivated collectors, investors, and treasure hunters worldwide because of its astonishing valuation of $36 million. A figure that transforms what many consider an ordinary coin into one of the most coveted and iconic pieces of American coinage ever produced, and the story of this coin begins at the Philadelphia Mint at the close of the 19th century, during a period when coin production was precise yet not immune to human or mechanical errors. And it is these very errors and anomalies that have turned the 1899 Indian head penny into a legendary treasure, because despite millions being struck, a small number of coins survived in exceptional condition, bearing unique characteristics caused by die flaws, misalignment, double strikes, off-center strikes, hub doubling, repunched dates, and striking imperfections, all of which contribute to the coin's immense rarity and value. And these errors are far more than mere imperfections. They are historical artifacts that provide a window into the minting practices, craftsmanship, and technological limitations of the late 19th century, capturing the moments when mechanical precision faltered and the ordinary process of coin production gave rise to objects of extraordinary significance. And among the most notable anomalies are die cracks, which manifest as raised lines or irregularities on the coin's surface caused by repeated stress and wear on the dies used for striking, and each die crack creates a unique pattern that makes every error specimen one of a kind, highly desirable, and immensely valuable in the collector market, while repunched dates occur when the dies used for striking were misaligned or struck more than once during preparation, leaving doubled impressions that are visually striking and immediately identifiable to trained numismatists, with the angle, size, and prominence of these repunched dates varying from coin to coin, creating an infinite array of collectible variations and off-center strikes. Another significant error occur when the planchet is improperly positioned during striking, resulting in part of the design being missing or shifted, producing visually captivating and rare specimens, while partial strikes capture the fleeting moment of misalignment, leaving a portion of the design incomplete, making each coin an authentic artifact that cannot be replicated. And hub doubling, one of the most sought-after characteristics, produces a shadow-like duplication of letters or numbers, adding yet another layer of uniqueness and intrigue to the coin, while die deterioration over time leaves subtle irregularities, variations in the design, and faint details that signal the passage of the coin through countless pressings, all of which combine to transform the 1899 Indian head penny from a simple 1-cent piece into an object of immense historical, aesthetic, and financial significance. And the coin's allure is further heightened by its condition, because while most pennies from 1899 were circulated, handled, and eventually lost, damaged, or melted, a small number survive in exceptional condition with sharp details, intact features, and original luster. And these pristine examples are especially prized, commanding eye-popping prices at major auctions, where competitive bidding often drives the valuation into the tens of millions, reflecting both the coin's rarity and its historical importance. And the Indian head series itself is a favorite among collectors for its intricate design, featuring Lady Liberty in a Native American headdress, which represents the artistry, symbolism, and craftsmanship of the era. And owning an 1899 Indian head penny is not only a financial investment, but also a tangible connection to American history, providing a direct link to a time of industrial expansion, social change, and artistic innovation. And the stories surrounding the discovery of these coins add to their mystique, as examples have been unearthed from old collections, estate sales, hoarded coin boxes, and family inheritances, transforming ordinary individuals into millionaires overnight and inspiring others to carefully examine their own collections. Because the prospect of uncovering a coin worth $36 million in a drawer, jar, or forgotten box sparks imagination, fuels dreams of fortune, and highlights the unpredictable nature of numismatic value, and collectors must study these coins meticulously, analyzing minute details such as strike quality, die cracks, hub doubling, repunched elements, planchet composition, and wear patterns, because every subtle difference can dramatically influence the market value and the rarity, historical context, and visual appeal of this coin make it a centerpiece for collectors and investors alike, drawing attention at auctions where excitement and competitive bidding elevate its value to unprecedented heights. And the fascination surrounding the 1899 penny has extended into mainstream media, social platforms, blogs, and viral content, inspiring millions to consider the possibility of hidden treasures in their own homes, while educating enthusiasts about minting processes, error types, and the factors that contribute to exceptional coin value. And the coin's visual allure is undeniable. With the detailed depiction of Lady Liberty, the intricate feathered headdress, and the fine engraving of the date and lettering amplified by the errors, creating coins that are not only valuable but also visually striking and historically significant, offering endless opportunities for classification, study, and admiration, as each die crack, off-center strike, repunched date, and hub doubling provides a unique narrative frozen in copper, documenting the delicate interplay between mechanical precision and human oversight that can produce coins of legendary status. And collectors worldwide continue to be inspired by the potential to discover such error coins, searching diligently in estates, coin shops, inherited collections, and even loose change, because the 1899 Indian head penny demonstrates that extraordinary value can lie hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone perceptive enough to recognize it. And the coin's story teaches lessons about patience, observation, historical knowledge, and the importance of proper preservation and authentication, as only specimens preserved in high grade with clearly identifiable errors achieve their full market potential. and the legend of the 1899 penny emphasizes the emotional aspect of collecting, the thrill of discovery, the awe of holding a rare artifact, and the anticipation of auction results. Because ownership represents not just financial gain but a tangible link to history, and each surviving coin is a testament to chance, survival, and historical significance, elevating it above ordinary currency into a symbol of legacy, and collectors examine these coins carefully, noting every microscopic detail, understanding that the combination of mechanical imperfection, human oversight, and historical context can create objects of tremendous value decades later, and the coin continues to inspire research, discussion, and fascination across the globe, motivating collectors to study, search, and dream of discovering a specimen that could change their lives. Because the allure of a coin worth $36 million among ordinary pennies bridges the gap between everyday life and extraordinary opportunity, showing that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can possess immense historical, aesthetic, and financial significance. And the 1899 Indian head penny exemplifies how errors, imperfections, and rarity converge to create legendary collectibles, captivating imaginations, inspiring meticulous study, careful preservation, and a relentless pursuit of numismatic excellence. And for anyone captivated by this incredible story, remember to like this video, subscribe for more astonishing coin discoveries, and share it so others can appreciate how ordinary pennies can conceal extraordinary treasures, because sometimes fortune and history collide in the most unexpected places, transforming a simple coin into an object of unparalleled wonder, prestige, and wealth, inspiring collectors and enthusiasts around the world to continue searching, learning, and dreaming of uncovering the next legendary coin that could change their lives forever.